it's not something that, I don't know. I don't necessarily seek them out because I mean, I do seek them out, but I don't necessarily need to return because I've already had a lot of the reflections there. But I'd love to, go there with loved ones so they could have the same experience that I have. And that's why I went to the catacombs the second time. I brought, the first time I was married and went with my wife, and the second time I brought my son.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
How old was your son when you brought him there?
Yeah, I brought him there after he graduated from high school, so he was 18.
Did it felt something? It was also impactful for him? Because I'm
Yeah,
asking
yeah.
because I went to the Parisian catacombs when I was like 14, 15.
Yeah.
I couldn't be less respect. I mean, let me explain it correctly. I did not value enough. I was just, for me, it was just a touristic attraction. There was no meaning. It was just bones.
Right.
You know what
Well,
I mean?
and that's a thing. And what I like to call sort of my brand of dark tourism is reflective dark tourism. So when you go to those places, it's really what's in your heart. And if you go in and look at it as an attraction, you're gonna get an attraction out of it. Oh gosh, I went through there. There's so many bones. It's wow, how cool is that? And so you come out the other side. But when I went through there, I really I let it sink in. And I think there's a difference between probably at the time I was 34 years old when I first went there, and then and a 14-year-old, there's a big difference in just your brain structure, and how you're going to be able to take in things. But going there, when you're 34, I went through and like looking at these individual bones. It's like, okay, there's 6 million people buried there, and you're looking at their skulls and their bones and their, this person had a name. They had people that loved them. They loved other people. Did they have kids? What did they do for work? This is going to be me in not that many years, and you walk out that other side, and that's sort of the reflections that stay with you. There's a concept called Memento Mori. And what Memento Mori is, I'll give you the history on Memento Mori. So Memento Mori is a Latin phrase that back in the Roman days, they would throw big parties and parades for generals after they conquered a place. So they would hire somebody for when the general got too cocky and he's just puffing out his chest too much. This guy would tap him on the shoulder and whisper in his ear, "Memento Mori." So Memento Mori translates to "remember you must die." So it's like it's a way of humbling them. So during the Elizabethan era and the Victorian era, Memento Mori through Christianity started making a comeback. And so it was a remember you're going to die, but on the flip side of that coin, and a lot of times people carry, I don't have one on me right now, but I have a coin, actually several coins that are Memento Mori coins. And on one side it says, "remember you must die." But on the flip side, it's "remember to live." And it's remember to live with great intention, and to, your life isn't very long. It's just fleeting. Don't spend it suffering. Spend it doing things that you want to do, loving the people you want to love. And it really changes your outlook on life.
I'm sharing
it gets you out of the comfort zone.
I'm sharing the screen right now of the viewers some coins. They're cool, man. Some of them look very nice with the skull and stuff. Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's really become a part of Stoicism, where Stoicism, if you really boiled it down, is, change what you can change, but if you can't change something, accept it and move on with your life. And it really is a memento, that Memento Mori really is a strong part of Stoicism. And I think being a Stoic is what these dark tourism places really helped me become, where before I would have liked to have fancied myself a Stoic, like the John Wayne type, like nothing's going to bother me, pilgrim, but he showed two emotions. It was either anger or, well, maybe one emotion. He showed anger, and then he didn't show his other emotions. He just kind of was blank otherwise. But I used to try to do that. And when I did that, it just, my emotions built up. But through Stoicism, I confronted my emotions. I wasn't scared of my emotions. I dealt with those emotions, and then I moved on past them, and I think, again, dark tourism really helps you do that.
Wow, man, drink so much out I mean, not only of you, I'm sure a lot of people also had similar experiences. Maybe they couldn't explain what was happening, but they must have felt something. I can talk for experience. I went to a concentration camp again when I was like 10 or something like that. And I couldn't fully grasp the horrific things that happened there, but there was like an energy. I believe in energy. I felt something like heavy, you know. I was like, this is serious. This is serious. And before, actually, my grandparents took me to a concentration camp because I was making fun of the Second World War. I was like a stupid child. Like, Bruno, like, you have no idea what you're talking about. Let's go to Germany right now. I was very lucky that I had amazing grandparents that care about my education. And the next international trip that we had, we just went to Germany at the time. I was not living in Germany. And they took me to a concentration camp. Man, I just felt something so heavy. And it changed my view. And again, like maybe I never went to another one again, but I'm inclined to after meeting you and having this conversation that we are having. Like, I'm sure my views will expand even more. You know, I'm gonna be even more grateful for my life, have even more respect for the ones who are past. It's like,
you know, when you go to them, even if you go to them a second time, you do get new reflections and new, you know, you might not get as many as you do the first time going to those places, but certainly you get more, you know, when you, like, there was other things that I saw that I didn't see. I don't remember off the top of my head, but when I went to the catacombs for the second time, for example, or the 9/11 museum, for example. So they're powerful. And in terms of energy, they do have energy. Is it a mystical type of energy? I don't know, but it's certainly, you feel it, whether that's your own brain causing that, or there's an energy coming from the people that have passed. And, you know, I mean, people can differ on where that energy comes from, but there is an energy in there. And regardless of where that energy comes from, it etches in your brain. It etches in a part of your brain that doesn't forget. When you have emotional experiences, they etch much deeper than going through and just reading plaques like in a museum. If you let them sink into your bones, and you, like I said, you go in with reverence and you empathize, you're going to have an emotional experience when you go through those places. Actually, kind of going back to what you're saying about your grandparents. So when I was younger, the narrative behind America dropping atomic bombs on Japan was, we had to do it. They were going to fight to the last person. They were, you know, it's just something America had to do. So I went to Hiroshima, and, you know, with adult eyes and being able to think objectively, and I have that narrative in the back of my mind. So I knew it was going to be emotional, but you go through there, and when I went in, there's this big long mural, and it's a beautiful ancient city. And on the one end of the mural, there's like a class picture of life-size children taking a picture. And then I was going through